Hey Dabbers, and welcome back to another Dab 2000 video and another ranking video. And today is the last day of 2024, so you know what I'm doing today if you've been on my channel for more than 2 years now. I'm going to be ranking every single movie I saw in 2024 that released in 2024. So, like, I saw some movies that didn't come out this year, but I'm only ranking the ones that Edge of Tomorrow. Boom, roasted.
I do not know what the heck that is.
I know you don't. So, yeah, only the movies that I saw that came out in 2024. So, this has the most movies I've seen this year. I've seen 38 movies in 2024. This is way more movies than last year in 2023 and in 2022. I've seen a ton more movies, so I am ready to talk a lot of movies. And Junior's here.
No, I'm not.
He's going to be vibing with me today.
Nuh-uh.
Do you have a favorite movie of this year, by any chance?
Can I see your list, my good sir?
I think yours might be Transformers 1. If I'm not mistaken. You like the Wild Robot.
Yeah, probably Transformers 1.
That's what I thought. Transformers 1 is Junior's favorite pick. Was Wild Robot up there for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way better than I thought.
Yeah. So, I got 38 movies to rank, so let's just get into it because this video is going to be a long video because I have a lot of movies on here. So, let's start off with my least, or the worst movie of 2024, in my opinion, is Megamind and the Doom Syndicate. If you guys didn't even hear about this movie, this is a sequel to Megamind.
But if you want to watch it, it'll ruin your childhood.
Exactly. It is a seriously worse sequel than everything. It's not even like theatrically released like a couple other movies. This movie came out on Peacock. So it didn't have a theatrical release. It went straight to streaming. That's how bad this movie is. And then, like, the animation quality is not the same as the original. The original that came out in, like, 2010 or something looks better than this movie.
How is that possible?
Like, that's insane because this movie came out this year. And, like, I feel like they just disrespect Megamind in every single way because Will Ferrell, none of the cast is in this movie. They recasted everyone, so he doesn't even sound like Megamind. They didn't even try. It doesn't sound like Megamind at all. So this is like the worst. And there was like a show with this. Me and Junior have not watched that because
we will not watch it.
we will not watch it because this movie was absolute buns. All right, coming in at number 37 is Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Yes, I've seen this movie.
Cheeks family roll out.
Sadly, I have seen this movie, and it is not good. Like, it's literally on competition being the worst movie of 2024. But I think Megamind was a little worse because of how much they disrespected Megamind. I am not a SpongeBob fan. I never watched the show growing up. I just didn't feel like I had to. I just don't watch it because I thought it was, like, not a good show. I know that just offended, like, a ton of people right now, but
You probably just lost a couple subscribers.
yeah, I'm sorry about that, but this is my opinion. In this movie, like, every single character, in my opinion, is annoying in this movie. Sandy Cheeks is annoying. I was gonna say Spider-Man. SpongeBob is annoying. Every single character is annoying. And the end, they literally have a live-action head on a CGI robot suit, and it looks the fakest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It is horrible. I know some people would like this movie because they like SpongeBob. I hate SpongeBob.
It's like little kids.
Yeah, I do not like SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob is annoying. That's why I never watched it. So that's why this movie is so low. Coming in at number 36. Yeah, 36. I have Uglies. This is a Netflix movie that came out this year. And honestly, it was still trash. I mean, You'll see a theme in my next.
You can see my head.
Oh, what's up, Junior?
I had no idea you would see my head.
You'll see a couple of these Netflix movies in the bottom tier because Netflix did not have a good year of movies this year. But my worst pick for the worst Netflix movie that came out this year is Uglies. I didn't like the characters. This plot is just weird and like doesn't make any sense. They try to make like people that are ugly prettier, but they all look fake when they do that. It just looks like really fake. The script is just awful. The characters are not even existing. Like, they're not even good characters at all. And like, it ends with a cliffhanger that like they could set up more movies, but I do not want to see another movie in this franchise because this is just an awful movie. Alright, coming in at number 35, I have Lift. This is another Netflix movie that came out this year. And the big thing with this movie is it's just a bland action thriller. Not even thriller, just an action heist movie. Like, they do not try to do anything different with this movie to make it, like, stand out among the rest. They just do it so, like, I don't know what the word is, but, like, they just do it so plain. It's so basic. Like, some of the actors are fun. They have plane heist and stuff like that. But, like, it's just not a good movie. And it's just so bland is just the big word for this movie. Alright, coming in at number 34, I have Atlas. This is another Netflix movie that came out this year. You can see a trend of how Netflix are treating their movies in 2024. This one is just boring. It's boring because the main lead of the movie is stuck in a robot suit.
Wait,
for like Atlas.
Oh, I think I fell asleep when I watched that movie.
I think you did. It's such a boring movie because she's stuck in the robot suit for like half of the movie, maybe like 75% of the movie, and yeah, she just whines the entire movie, and it just becomes annoying at some point. And that's why I just don't like watching this movie. It's because she's so annoying and so like hard to root for, even though she's the main character of the movie. It's just hard to watch, in my opinion, and I would never rewatch this movie ever again. So, like, I mean, some of the action's cool, like, at the end. That's why it's, like, above some of the other ones, because the action at the end is kind of cool with, Shang-Chi. It's not the real Shang-Chi, it's the actor. He's in it. Against him, it's kind of fun, but overall, it's just boring. Alright, coming in at number 33, I have Madam Web. So now, I know that a lot of people would say this is the worst movie of the year. It's not the absolute worst, because I think Netflix has some real bad movies this year, and, I mean, we got Megamind and Sandy Cheeks. Oh, wait, this Sandy Cheeks movie was a Netflix movie, too.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, Netflix had a real bad year. But now we got Madam Web. This might be one of the worst superhero movies of all time. It is literally a prequel to the Spider-Woman characters that don't have their own movie. They make a prequel about these Spider-Girls, or Spider-Women, and we know nothing about them because they didn't have a movie, so they make the origin first, but we don't know who they are still. Madam Web is just insufferable. She's not even, like, a good person. She was gonna she leaves the kids, like, multiple times. There is a really funny scene in this movie when what? There is a really funny scene in this movie when the villain is on the car and then, like, Madam Web drives an ambulance out of a building, and literally the villain jumps in front of the ambulance.
She misses by, like, 20 feet.
Yeah, she misses, but the guy jumps in front of the ambulance so he can get hit. That's how bad this movie is. And then, like, the dialogue does not match what they're saying at some points. This movie is probably one of the worst superhero movies. But, like, it's better than some of these Netflix movies. Alright, coming in at number 32, I have Borderlands.
Oh, bad movie.
This is another bad movie. They said that this movie was going to be kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy with these Borderlands video game characters. But this did not succeed at all because this movie is just, I don't know how to, it's just weird. It's just really weird because you don't really care about any of the characters at all. The plot doesn't really make that much sense and it's just kind of boring. And it's kind of just like, they could have done better, but I think like this movie had like a ton of rewrites, reshoots. Like apparently this movie was supposed to be rated R at some point, but they put it to PG-13 and changed a ton of stuff. So I don't know what happened to this movie, but it did not turn out good at all. Alright, coming in at number 31, I have Rebel Moon Part 2. I think this one was called The Scargiver, yes. So, if you guys watch my ranking of 2023 movies, I had Rebel Moon Part 1 in my top 10, I believe. I think it was number 6. Yeah, I think I made a mistake because Rebel Moon is not good. This second movie, I was excited for it because I liked the first one. I liked all the characters and stuff like that. I liked it more than most people. This second one literally throws it in their trash can and lights it on fire. That's how bad this movie is because they just fumble at it so bad because, like, they're literally farming for, like, half the movie. Do you know what a funny thing is, Junior? They literally have... You know how you do slow-mo in fights sometimes?
Yeah.
They did slow-mo scenes of them farming. Not fighting, just farming.
How?
That's it. That's how bad this movie is because I don't even know what they're trying to go for. I haven't seen the extended cuts or anything because I feel like there's no point because these movies are really bad. And, like, I mean, some of the fights are cool, so that's why it's above some of my bottom ones, but still, it's still just not a great movie. Alright, coming in at number 30, I have Argyle. So, if you're talking about, like, the first half of the Argyle, I actually really enjoyed the first half. I thought it was, like, really good with this, like, spy stuff, and, like, I liked the characters somewhat. It was fun. It just felt fun for the first half. But then you get into the second half, and, like, they do so much twists and turns, and they keep coming, like, they keep just doing twists and turns, and then sometimes they just get ridiculous. Like, there's a character that literally gets shot in the heart, but they said because there's a loop in the heart, it went through the loop of the heart. That's not possible. Like, that's not, you can't do that, really, so, like, they're, like, stretching the, like, real-ability of this movie. I know a lot of movies do that, but, like, this one's supposed to be serious, grounded, and stuff like that. And then you say, like, I can literally shoot the loop in your heart, and you won't die. Like, you can't measure that. You can't see the heart to do that. So, like, I feel like this, it just goes out there. It's just too silly and too weird. Alright, coming out at number 29, I have the Garfield movie.
Okay, buddy.
What, you like this movie?
Not really.
Yeah, this movie is...
I like Dark Garfield.
I mean, it doesn't really do that much Garfield things, I feel like. It's a heist movie, which is weird for a Garfield movie, in my opinion. The dad, like, all the characters are weird. I don't really, like any of the characters. They're just there for me. And it's just a weird kids movie. I don't know what else to say about this movie. Do you have anything to say about it?
It's not the best.
Yeah, it's just not good. I guess, like, don't make Garfield a heist movie, I guess. Alright, coming in at number 28, I have The Union. This is another Netflix movie that came out this year. I do find this one more enjoyable than the ones worse on this list, but it's still not a great movie. I mean, some of it's funny, but, like, the relationship between our two main leads is just annoying, and it just doesn't get across at all. The action is okay at best, and the story is just kind of all over the place. So, like, this movie is just not really good. Alright, coming in at number 27 is Kung Fu Panda 4. Now, I'm very, very sad I have to put this movie this far down on my list.
Yeah.
Because The first two are amazing.
The first three.
Well, the first two are like amazing in my opinion. Third one is good. It's still watchable. It's still fun, but I do have some problems with it. This fourth one just jumps off a ledge and it's just like, well, screw Kung Fu Panda movies. This is not it. It really isn't. The villain is by far the worst villain because Kung Fu Panda movies have some of the best villains, like Tai Lung, Lord Shen, and what's the other guy's name in the third one? Kai.
Yeah, Kai.
Yeah, Kai. It has some of the best villains ever, and this one just makes a very boring villain with the chameleon. It's an interesting concept that the chameleon can turn into his past villains, but that doesn't even happen until like the end of the film. It's good to see Tai Lung again, but he doesn't really do anything in the film.
Except for bows to Po.
Exactly. And I don't think Kai should bow to Po. Kai hates Po. Also, Shen hates Po because he hates pandas. Why would he bow down to Po?
Tai Lung kind of makes sense.
Tai Lung does make sense because he wasn't really a bad guy in the first one. He was just the wrong person. Like, he wasn't the main character.
He wanted it.
Exactly. So, Tai Lung's not a bad guy. But, like, Lord Shen and Kai are evil dudes. So, I don't understand that. And then Aquafina's character in this movie is just not great. It's just not a good character. I don't know. And then they don't even show the Furious Five until the end credits. And then they don't even talk.
Yeah.
Like, the Warriors Five... Wait, what are they called? The Furious Five. They're main parts of the first three, so they should be main characters in this one. But they were like, nah. So, I don't know. Coming in at number 26, I have Despicable Me 4. So, basically, Kung Fu Panda 4 and Despicable Me 4, they're about the same to me. Like, they're both, like, falling off their franchises a little bit. Like, I mean, I feel like Despicable Me 4 is just kind of there. It's just, like, there's, like, the plot only happens between the first 10 minutes and then the last 10 minutes. The middle plot of this movie is literally side quests. The whole movie. Like, you have Lucy going grocery shopping. You got Gru doing tennis matches. You got Margot going to school. You got the Super Minions.
Well, Lucy's trying to get a new job.
Yeah, Lucy's trying to get a new job. They're just side quests that don't do anything to the story. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I feel like it's not as good as the other Despicable Me movies. Because they actually have a good plot, good story. It goes throughout the whole movie. This one is like, alright, we'll do a plot at the beginning and then the end. And then we're just going to do a bunch of like... They feel like shorts. You know those like Minion shorts on Netflix?
Yeah.
That's what they are in the middle of this movie. So like, I don't know. I feel like if you made like a good plot and just a better villain, like the Cockroach Man, really, like that's the best villain you could come up with. I mean, it's just not that great. All right, coming in at number 25. Now I do think these movies are so like from here from 25 to like 21 or 20-ish. These movies are good. Like I had a fun time watching them. But they just have some problems with them. So, coming in at number 25, I have Fly Me to the Moon. This is like see if the moon landing was a fake or not.
Was it?
It was not.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I don't know how accurate this movie is, so.
Yeah, how do you believe?
Exactly. How do you believe the movies? But, yeah, I mean, it's fun enough. You like all the characters in this one, like Channing Tatum. I know I did not say that right. And Scarlett Johansson. They're fun in this movie. Sorry. They're really fun in this movie. They have a lot to bring to the table. But, like, it's just not a movie for me, personally. Like, I don't really like romance movies that much, and it's kind of like that. But, like, the moon stuff is pretty interesting and stuff like that. It's just not one for me, personally. Like, I don't really gravitate towards this movie more. So it's more of a personal issue to me. But if you guys like this type of movie and stuff like that, you'll probably think this is like one of the best movies of this year. Me personally, I'm just not a big fan of this type of movie. Alright, coming in at number 24, I have the Big City Greens movie. So, if you don't know, me and Junior watched Big City Greens for a little bit. This movie is not the best. It's kind of like, I feel like they went too kiddish. Because some of the stuff in Big City Greens is really funny. This is not that funny. And they try to make it like, kind of like a father and son relationship, which I don't think they needed in this movie. So, I don't know. I just think this movie was just okay at best. Alright, coming in at number 23, I have Venom: The Last Dance. So this is the final Venom film. And this movie's a mess. You can't ignore that. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that don't make sense. Like, why is Venom on a road trip throughout the movie? It doesn't make sense. And then they go to a casino and dance. But why would Venom reveal himself just to dance with Miss Chen? It doesn't make sense. Like, it's just a weird plot to do. The ending is cool with all the Venoms and all the symbiotes, and they're fighting the searchers, the Venom searchers. It's a cool finale, and Venom does. This is gonna be spoilers for everything. Just warning you guys, but Venom does die at the end of the film, which is honestly kind of unexpected. But I should have seen it coming because this is the last Venom movie they're making. So.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. Because they made Madam Web this year, too, so. This is way better, obviously, because it's above it, but, like, I don't know. Something about it was just kind of weird, and I just don't really like the Venom movies. I kind of wish Tom Hardy's Venom was in, like, the Tom Holland movies. So, yeah. Alright, coming in at number 22, I have Moana 2. So, I enjoyed Moana 2. I had a fun time with it. I thought it was enjoyable and fun. There's some great stuff in it, like, I like how Moana is, like, becomes what Maui is at the end of the film. I think that's cool. Some plot stuff is fun and stuff like that. The songs are not nearly as good as the first one. Like, I don't really remember that much songs in this movie. Junior remembers one.
I do?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's probably the Maui song, isn't it?
What did he say in that one?
Never mind then.
I don't really remember.
I guess. Oh, I didn't realize. I have a green water, so you could probably not see this. Interesting choice. But, I mean, it's not nearly as good as the first.
Can I get a chee-hoo?
I knew it. I knew you knew
I had
that
to
song.
think. I had to think.
So, yeah, this movie is just not nearly as good as the first one. The songs are worse. The animation is, like, probably better. Maybe.
I say it's worse.
Maybe worse. I think you're right. Oh, this is my big gripe with this film. It feels like a streaming movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a theatrically released movie. It feels like streaming because this movie was meant for streaming, and then they converted it into a movie, and that's probably a smart idea because it made a ton of money already. So
Even though it's not that good.
it hasn't hit $1 billion yet, but it's at like 800 million. So it's close, and it was smart for them. All right, coming in at number 21, I have Mufasa: The Lion King. This this isn't the last movie I saw for this ranking, but it's the second to last. I'll tell you guys what my last movie I saw for this ranking was, but I don't think these live action Disney movies are necessary anymore. I do think this one's better than the Lion King movie, the remake of it, because it's a new and unique story to it. But, like, I don't know. Something about this is just, like, I would prefer an animated Lion King sequel, or a prequel in this case. But they gave us another live-action Lion King movie. And, like, I mean, some of the backstory is kind of cool of how, like, Scar became Scar, Mufasa became a king, and all that stuff. But I just don't really care about these live-action remakes anymore, so. And then the songs in this movie are very forgettable. Like, I don't really care about any of the songs in this movie. There's one really bad song I thought was in this movie. It was when that White Lion showed up. You remember that song, Junior?
Yeah.
I thought that song was horrible. Like, I was like, what is this song? This doesn't feel like Disney. It feels like a little pop to it, you know? It was just weird.
It felt like a real song.
Exactly. It was just such a weird choice for like a Lion King movie. Alright, coming in at number 20, I have Damsel. This is a Netflix movie that came out this year. And it's nowhere near, like, the worst. It's actually pretty enjoyable because there's dragons, there's all that stuff. It's this low, it's because our main lead, Millie Bobby Brown, she's kind of whiny in this movie. She, like, I don't know why, it just kind of annoys me at some points. But, like, the dragon action's cool. Some of the characters are fun. It's just, it's a fun movie, but it's just nowhere near as good as it should be. Alright, coming in at number 19, so from 19 to, like, 13, maybe 15, they're like 7 out of 10s. They're pretty good, but, like, I don't know, there's just, like, that little edge, like, it's not really the best. Alright, coming in at number 19, I have Bob Marley's One Love. This is the biopic of Bob Marley's life story, and it's enjoyable, it's fun, but, like, it's just a movie I will never rewatch again because... And it's also kind of hard to understand because they speak, like, in this, like, accent the whole movie, so it's kind of hard to understand some lines. You definitely have to watch this movie in subtitles. I did not. I watched this in the theaters, and I had no idea what some of these lines were saying. But it's fun. I mean, you get to see his life story, and they do it really well, but, like, it's just not something I would love. Like Elvis a couple years back that I absolutely loved for no reason. This one's just kind of a step back for me. Alright, coming in at number 18, I have Carry On. Now, I'm making sure there's no other Netflix movies up here. There isn't. Okay. So I was going to say, Carry On is by far my favorite Netflix movie that released this year. Because it's an action thriller, which I think is just good. I really like the mystery, like the dynamic of, like, if this guy can't do this, his girlfriend is going to die. It's just a very interesting concept, and it's like a good step in the right direction for Netflix. They keep making more of these movies. Unfortunately, they did not do that because this is at number 18 and there's still 17 movies ahead of this movie. So, like, Netflix didn't have, like, an outstanding movie. Like, I would consider, like, Glass Onion from a couple years back was, like, outstanding. Like, I really liked that movie. Other than that, this movie is, like, it's good. I really liked it. I really like the end when, like, they're on the plane and then he's about to, like, use the gas and stuff. It's unique. There are some questionable CGI moments for no reason at all. Like, there's, like, a car fight in this movie when, like, they're trying to fight each other in the car, and it looks the most fake thing I've seen. It was weird how they shot it. It just looked off. So that's why, like, there's questionable CGI moments for a movie that did not need CGI at all. But overall, I had a fun time with this movie. Alright, coming in at number 17, I have Avengers... What is that called? Avengers Demolition Mission? Or something like that. You know that Lego one?
Oh, yeah.
It's on Letterboxd, so, like, it would count as a movie. I'm using Letterboxd for this. I'm trying this new ranking style because I like Letterboxd. Yeah, check out my Letterboxd at Dab2000. But, yeah. I put this one on here. I don't really know what to feel about it. I liked it. Tom Brady's in this movie for no reason, which is...
Yeah, why was Tom Brady?
It was funny, though. But, like... I don't really know how to do this one. It's kind of like the Marvel special presentations in 2022. Like, I didn't really know where to put them because they're not, like, an hour long like a movie. They're, like, 40 minutes in a short, easy time. I had fun with this movie. I don't think it's as good as the other Lego one that they put out. But it was a fun time, I guess. Alright, coming in at number 16, I have If. Or, like, The Imaginary Friends. This movie, I thought this movie would just be fun and charming, but it actually has a lot more weight to it than I thought. It's a lot more emotional than I thought it would be. because with the dad and stuff like that. The characters are fun. I like Ryan Reynolds in this movie. He's funny and fun in this movie. Some of the imaginary friends are cool, but like, it's just a fun movie. I'm never gonna rewatch this movie again, but it was just a good movie, I guess. Alright, coming in at number 15, I have Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. So if you don't know, I put this one really high for my most anticipated. It's not going to be anywhere near the top 10. I thought it would be, but it's definitely not, because there are some dreadful human plot lines in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Like, the human plot line in this movie was a lot more boring and more, like, taking away from the movie than, like, my favorite of the franchise, Godzilla vs. Kong, which I thought the human plot lines served the story. The human plot lines in this movie are kind of like, but like there are some really cool action. Like, you get to see Godzilla do a pencil dive. I mean,
Thought about that.
he just does a pencil dive, jumps off a cliff. It's so fun. Like, there's like, you literally have not Godzilla, Kong get like a mech arm. It's stupid, dumb fun, but like, if you're into that stuff, like, just for a fun time, Godzilla X Kong is a blast to watch in the theater. I think me, Junior, and Minnie were dying laughing at this movie, because there's just so, like, especially the pencil diving scene.
Why did he pencil?
It was so funny. So, yeah, I had fun with this movie. Like, the big monster fights are just so fun in this movie, but it can't be in my top 10 because the human plot lines in this movie does bring this movie down a little bit for me. Alright, coming in at number 14, I have Wicked. I know Junior would have this movie way lower.
I really like it.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked all the characters. I think, like, the characters are really enjoyable and fun. The songs are good in this movie. And yeah, like, the school atmosphere in this movie is just really fun and enjoyable. I like all the characters' dynamics. This movie is a tad bit too long, in my opinion. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes. For some reason. It's a long movie for a part 1. Yeah, this is a part 1 of 2. So, I don't know. And it's not higher for me, it's because this isn't my thing. I don't like musicals that much. I'm not like a musical guy or anything like that, so that's why it can't be in my top 10. It's because,
I mean, why would he be a musical guy?
exactly, I'm more of a superhero guy. Like, I love superhero movies and all that stuff, so I'm just not a musical guy, so that's why it's down lower. Alright, coming in at number 13, I have Quiet Place Day 1. Now, I thought this movie would definitely get into my top 10 and be one of my favorite movies. It's not, sadly. I don't think this is clearly my least favorite movie in the Quiet Place franchise. But still good. Like, there's still some good moments. The characters are fun in this movie. Like, they bring something different to the table. Instead of it's like a family sticking together, it's these two groups of friends. Like, these two people with friendship that try to make it out alive. There are some questionable things that, like, doesn't make it in my top 10. Like, the girl's motivation is to just get a slice of pizza. Yeah, like, that's kind of questionable. That's why it's not in my top 10. It's because, like, her motivation is kind of like, I don't really like the motivation as much, but it was still fun. Like, there were still thrilling moments in this movie and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know what Junior's doing. He's just tweaking out. Alright, coming in at number 12, I have Justice League Crisis of Infinite Earths Part 1. Alright, Junior's showing me his Lego display.
Yes, sir.
Good boy. Anyway, yeah, so this is an animated movie that came out in January. And, yes, I have not seen Part 2 or 3 of this movie. I only seen Part 1 because me and Junior are
cool people.
Lazy. I was looking for the word lazy because we did not watch the other parts. But I liked it. I thought the animation choice in this movie was pretty cool. I liked the animation of this movie. I thought the story was really good with, like, Flash freeze time so he could finish this machine, and he spent an entire lifetime with what is her name? Very West or something like that? I don't know. Something on those lines. But, like, I thought it was really good. Of course, it doesn't work out at the end. Like, I think all the worlds blow up and only Supergirl's left. Right? Yeah, I just don't really care to watch the other two, do you?
No.
But, like, I still enjoyed this movie. Now, of course, it's, like, number 12, so it's very close to my top 10. But, yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. Alright, coming in at number 11, I have Piece by Piece. This is such an interesting way to do a biopic of a music person. A musician. So, yeah. It's about Pharrell Williams, but he decided to do it in a Lego movie, which is just so fascinating. So I feel like this movie has, like, a lot of, like, fun parts because it is in Lego, and you could, like, have kids watch it because they are in Lego, so it's, like, entertaining and stuff like that. And I did not know a lot of stuff about his life, and that was, like, really cool to explore in this movie. So I thought they did this really well and stuff like that. So it was a really fun time, but I definitely don't think it hits in my top 10 because my top 10 is pretty stacked with some amazing movies. So, like, from here on out, 10 to 1, these are just outstanding movies that I think are definitely deserving of top 10 material for this year. At number 10, I have The Wild Robot. I don't know how high you would have it, Junior. I have a couple movies ahead of it, but The Wild Robot was really good. I watched the trailers for this movie, and I thought, that's just going to be some weird kids movie, and it's going to be really kiddish and stuff like that. But no, it was really good. It was really emotional. And then it has some really dark moments in it. Like, they rip off, like, a bird's head in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, and you were like, dang. Like, she's literally holding the dead bird's head. I was like, wow, they went really dark for, like, some of these scenes. But it's also so emotional with this robot and this, like, is that a duck?
No, it's like a kinda.
Kinda?
I don't know what it is.
Some type of bird. Their relationship in this movie is just really heartfelt and emotional. It's just really good. I was not expecting this movie to make my top 10 at all, but it surprised me, and it definitely deserves a top 10 spot. Alright, coming in at number 9, I have Trap. So, this is the new M. Night Shyamalan movie that came out this year. I've heard a lot of people had mixed reviews for this movie. People don't like it because it was too silly and do some weird stuff. Some people really like it. I, on the other hand, I really enjoyed this film. I think it's a good thriller movie with this serial killer in a concert, kind of like just like a concert with a singer, and he's trying to escape, so he'll do anything to get out alive because now the cops are there and trying to search for him. It's just a very good film. Some people don't like the ending because of, like, why would the singer go to their house and stuff like that. I thought it was actually pretty cool. And then it comes with more thrilling moments. Like, especially, like, at the end when you think the family's safe. And then he comes in and he's there with, like, his shirt off and he has a knife in his hand. It's insane. I was not expecting that. And yeah, and then at the end, he just escapes again. He's just going to keep doing what he's doing. He's just a psycho. And that's kind of why I really like this movie, is because they do something unique and different. And I really liked it. Alright, coming in at number 8, I have Inside Out 2. This is a sentence I thought I would never say in my life. An Inside Out movie's in my top 10. Because if you don't know my Pixar ranking stuff, I do not like the first Inside Out. I think it's still one of the worst Pixar movies, and I rewatched it and it's still not good. I do not like Inside Out at all, but I really did like Inside Out 2. There are some really funny parts in this movie when, like, you remember when the video game character
he does a special attack.
He does a special attack, and it was so funny. And I just like the aging of this movie. It's in its teen years this time, so it's like has a different uniqueness from the first movie, so it feels different. You got a lot of new emotions in this movie, and they're all good, like anxiety and stuff like that. I thought this was a really good movie. And now I can say I like an Inside Out movie, but the first one, I do not like that first one. All right, coming in at number 7, I have Lord of the Rings, The War of Rohirrim.
What?
So this is the latest movie. This is the last movie I saw before I made this ranking. So this is an anime Lord of the Rings movie, which is a strange choice because all the rest of them are live action and only this one is like an animation style. I don't like anime, if you don't know. We stopped watching Visions, the Star Wars Visions show, because I couldn't handle it. But somehow I really enjoyed this movie. I think the characters are so good in this movie. I know a lot of people had mixed reviews on this film, and this didn't really get great reviews and stuff like that.
Like your oven mitts?
What does that mean?
Your oven mitts?
You're not okay, Junior. But honestly, I thought this movie was good. All the characters are good. The action in this movie is really good. Like the girl fights like an elephant. Like the elephants are back in this movie. It's pretty good. There's some
Adios.
cameos. You're leaving?
Yes, ma'am.
Why? Alright, see ya. But yeah, I really enjoy this movie. All the characters are good. The villain, I forget his name, but he's actually really good in this movie. And I just like all the characters, the action. It's just all good. Alright, coming in at number 6, I have Twisters. So if you haven't seen my most anticipated movies for 2024, this was my second to least. I was not looking forward to this movie at all. And honestly, I had a blast with this film. It's just such a fun movie for this movie. I like all the characters in this movie. The Twisters are the tornado carnage in this movie is just really good with them destroying buildings. You got a fire tornado in the middle of it. It is just great. And then you get David Cornsweet, the new Superman for next year's movie, is in this movie as a jerk, which is very interesting to get him as a jerk character before he becomes the symbol of hope. So I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, we made it to the top 5. At number 5, I have The Fall Guy. So I never thought this would get into my top 5, but this movie was really good and really fun. I really like the relationship between Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling in this movie. It's just a very good one. I really like the action in this film, and it's about stunts, so there's a lot of good stunt work in this movie. And this is by far I think this is the most, I've seen this movie the most this year. I think I watched this movie 5 times already. It's so rewatchable, and it's just so fun, so that's why I had to make my top 10, because it's just a fun movie. Coming in at number 4, I have Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, this was my most anticipated movie for this year, and it's still a good movie. It just isn't number 1. I think there's 3 other movies that are better than this movie, but this movie is still really good. I mean, this isn't going to outbeat the other Planet of the Apes trilogy because, I mean, you can't beat Caesar and all those characters and stuff like that. But our new character is fun enough. He's good. He's just not going to be Caesar. But, I really like the villain of this film. I think he did a really outstanding job in this film. And I like the story with, the Hawk stuff. And they just bring a lot of unique and different stuff in this movie. So that's why this movie is right here. Because I still liked it, but there are some movies better in my opinion. Alright, coming out at number 3. Call me crazy, but I am putting Sonic 3 here. So, I just thought Sonic 3 was outstanding. I will not understand the hate for this movie. And if you think it's too childish, too kiddish, okay, that's fine. But I really, really liked it. I think the jokes land. Jim Carrey is in his prime in this movie, playing not 1, but 2 characters in this movie as Robotnik and Gerald Robotnik. It's just fun to see. Shadow is an outstanding character in this franchise, and I think his backstory and all that is really good in this movie. And then the ending with like the slam bang ending with like the huge fight, and then spoilers obviously when Sonic and Shadow go like gold mode, it's just awesome. It's just such a good movie, and yeah, that's why it's this high up, because I just think this movie is awesome. All right, we made it to number 2. I have Transformers 1. I did not think this movie was going to be this high up, but I can't believe how good this movie is. They showed the backstory of Optimus Prime and Megatron in this movie, and it's just how they did it was really good. This is what I was hoping for Mufasa, between Scar and Mufasa, but that didn't really work for me. Optimus Prime and Megatron, they do it really well. Like they just nailed that, like, break apart and friendship and stuff like that. This movie is hilarious and funny. The animation is outstanding in this movie, and it's just a really good movie. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just very solid. But coming in at number 1, I have Dune Part 2. So I definitely did not think a Dune movie would be my number 1 for this year, because I did not like the first one until I rewatched it this year before the second one came out, and I actually really liked Dune 1. But Dune 2, the visuals in this movie are breathtaking. Like, this movie is amazing. The characters are complex and in depth, and they do it really well. And, like, the visuals are amazing. The action is amazing. Like, the ending fight is good, and then the final duel at the end of this movie is just really cool. So this might be a 10 out of 10. I don't know. I gave it a 9 so far. We'll see how time goes with this movie until I say it's probably a 10 out of 10, because this movie is awesome. But yeah, it's just very good. Alright, this is what has been a long video, but that is my ranking of every single movie that I saw in 2024. I know you guys saw a lot of movies. Just say, what is your top 10 favorite movies of this year down below in the comment section. I will check you guys on another Dab 2000 video and another ranking video, and I'll see you guys in 2025. Goodbye, Dabbers.